Meanwhile, so much for sleepless in Seattle. Did you hear about this? A flight taking off from Seattle was forced to turn around after passengers in first class heard screams from someone below. That someone turned out to be an airport worker who just fell asleep in the baggage hold and woke up mid-flight. To Mark Murphy and Bo Needle on whether it's time for airlines to wake up, period. But what'd you make of this? I mean, if you're a terrorist, you're looking at this like, whoa.
Well, it's definitely a security breach. Now, this guy's lucky he was in the pressurized side of the luggage.
That's right.
Otherwise, he would have had a little problem breathing. The thing is here, I'm not trying to joke about it, because if this guy wanted to cause harm to that plane, now the terrorists are watching, or people are lone wolves out there watching, wow, we could get a job in a cargo group over there, putting luggage on, and we could put some of our bombs on also. This is definitely an infringement upon security, and I think that company should either be fired or they should be fined or taken out of the airport completely. They have to be responsible of their employees and everything that goes on and off that plane.
You know, Mark, I was thinking now, obviously employees heard this guy in the luggage well, but what is the procedure? Or do you know the procedure for this sort of thing? And do these organizations keep track of who's on a plane, then getting off a plane? What is the modus operandi here?
Well, let's just say the idea that this guy is stuck in the cargo, I mean, is there a procedure for it, for a guy taking a nap? No, there is no procedure for it.
But what I mean, Mark, is there a procedure for checking, are all our guys accounted for before that plane lifts off?
Not that I'm aware of, you know. I mean, all they're doing is they're loading the luggage. They walk back out the ramp. You know, they seal up the plane and they go. And obviously, they must have thought this guy had already left, because they went ahead and took off and they locked it up, and no one did a walk around inside there. Obviously, highly unusual. I have to disagree with Bo on the security part of it, because these, you know, we know that there can be anybody at any point in time, including the Germanwings pilot, that can take a plane down if they're cleared to fly, if they're cleared to have access to the runways, etc. So it's about the criminal checks and all of those other things. That's all you can do, and then you basically have to have the other employees watch out for strange behavior so terrorists don't get, you know, a move in on a situation like this. But having a guy fall asleep, you know what? I don't consider that a security breach. I consider that maybe a way to check himself.
You know, there's a responsibility of the supervisor that's there. If he has 3 or 4 people under him, that supervisor should be responsible for accountability of his people. If one guy's sleeping on the job, not helping loading the luggage, you've got to be responsible for whoever works there. This is certainly a breach. Again, it's a breach of security. It's not a joke about the guy falling asleep. It's a fact that how was he able to stay on that plane without anybody knowing it? And the responsibility, again, is to that subcontracting company to have a supervisor that is proficient and know where his people are at all times, and they have to be accounted. Now, what we just saw, now what happened, now that should be implementation in the security side of it, of the luggage, and they should make sure that everyone is accounted now, because this happened. So from mistakes, you then get progress and you start to eliminate the mistakes.
It is a little scary. All right, guys, I want to thank you both very, very much. Forget Meanwhile Battle.